Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Alright, I have kind of been a little all over the place with Van Halen lately, and I don't know if it explained or not. I am going to be doing a Van Halen rap party. I'm trying to sync it up kind of closer towards when I go to see Metallica live. And that's because Mammoth WVH is supposed to be one of the opening bands when I see them live. So I'm kind of working my way up through the years and into, now Wolfgang being on his own. And one of the albums, it's really funny. I thought I had covered this really early on and I hadn't. And I was surprised I hadn't. And even more surprising was when I realized I hadn't, I went and looked through my CD collection. For some reason, didn't notice that I had the CD, thought I didn't have the CD. I ended up buying an extra copy of the CD. So, yeah, somehow I ended up with 2 used copies of OU812. 5150. I really enjoy 5150. I will tell you that is a good, solid album. I really enjoy Balance. I will tell you that is a very good, solid album. This one, I'm not sure entirely sure how I feel. Another thing I want to point out real quickly too is I don't know what the hell this BS is with the track listing on the back here. Not in order at all. I'm assuming they were purposely screwing with people for fun, but whatever. I will defend Sammy to the bitter end. I think Sammy is the better vocalist, without a doubt. Out of the 3, Sammy is my go-to vocalist with all of them. I don't think necessarily that all their best music was with Sammy either. And this album is one of the reasons why. But, and I haven't gotten For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge yet, which I will get to. But I really do believe that there was more to the Sammy years than there was to the DLR years. I think the DLR years would have been a lot better if the albums had been compressed down a little bit more, and I will get to that eventually when I get to the rap party. That's part of my plan for the rap party, is the great compression. Okay. All right, moving on, folks. Moving on, let's get to the music on this album because I've dragged it out long enough. The album opens up with Mine, Oh Mine. Now, one of the things that David Lee Roth always said was a reason why he left was how heavy the band was getting with the synths. It was getting very synth heavy for him, and that wasn't his thing. But this particular song isn't very poppy or cheesy. Alex's drumming is like his attack on his drumming is really kind of quick on this. It feels like he's attacking it too fast. It works because he's not going out of place, but it's still too quick of an attack compared to the rest of the music that's going on in there. And is not the type of song I would have picked this kick off the album, because I think it really kind of set the wrong idea with the album. Yeah, that's that. That goes into When It's Love. Okay. All right, this is one of those songs that this is why Hagar takes so much crap. And I understand why. It's a slower tune, but it's not a ballad. It is definitely more of a pop number, though, for sure. Very piano, keyboard heavy, but it's very in touch with its emotions. And I like that. And the chorus is catchy as shit, man. Like, you can't help but not enjoy that chorus, right? You know, like, you just get into it and start singing along. AFU, Naturally Weird. This is a decent album cut, but it's nothing special. Cabo Wabo. The song trips over its own feet with how complicated it needs to be. I really do like the solo in it, but the song itself is overly complicated, I find. Cabo Wabo, no, Cabo Wabo. I've never been to Cabo Wabo. I wouldn't mind going one day. I do like Cabo tequila, though, man. That stuff is tasty, mighty fine, and I'm not a tequila guy, and I like Cabo. All right, that is followed up by Source of Infection. The intro is pretty blistering. It's got some great boogie woogie to it. It feels much more David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. Musically, that is. You know, it's got, there was that kind of always that showman-y kind of cheesy boogie woogie that happened with David Lee Roth a lot. This happens a lot more of that feel to it. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, it kind of helps show that, you know, Van Halen really didn't go softer after Sammy joined. However, the guitar solo, it feels like it was almost lifted right out of Hot for Teacher. You know, so I'm not sure on this one. Not a song I would overly recommend. The intro, like I said, great, but that's kind of where I'm done with it. Feels So Good. I really like the song. I always have liked the song. I like the song since the first time I saw the video for it. It's another one where I know people talk crap about it. It's one of those pop tracks people really hate. But I personally think it's a very enjoyable song. It's sweet and kind, a little heavy on the synths, and still all kinds of sexy at the same time, man. It's a really nice tune. Finish What You Started. This one is more the opposite. It's raw, it's acoustic, it's in your face. And Sammy tells you exactly what he wants lyrically, man. You know, I gotta appreciate that. Another song I've always really very much enjoyed. Then we go into Black and Blue. Good, solid rocker. One of those songs that could get played every once in a while, but I don't think I've heard it on the radio for probably about 10 years or more now. Most of that would come from the fact that the song does clock in at 5:25. And even rock radio seems less likely to break the 5-minute marker these days. A quality edit, if you get down to about 4:30, that would probably get it back on the radio again. I think if you give it a good quality edit, radio edit, probably do really well on the radio again. It's just, radio is kind of weird right now. You know, you get some long songs on there, but not like it was, man. The 90s, at least, you got a lot more space. After that, Sucker in a Three-Piece Suit. This is another solid rocker. It's an album cut, but it's a quality album cut. And then the album finishes off with Apolitical Blues. This is Van Halen going old school blues, sort of. I just don't care for it, really. I actually think this is a crap way to end the album, but if you had put this song anywhere else in the album, it would have totally killed the flow. By far, this is the weakest Sammy Van Halen album. I really dig the singles, like the true singles, which was Feel So Good, Finish What You Started, and When It's Love. Those three, honestly, were really good. The album cuts aren't bad, but meh, you know, I just kind of, not the follow-up they needed to 5150, which I think is why For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge brings it back pretty heavy afterwards. Those are my thoughts, my views, my opinions. Tell me what you think. That is what the comment section is for. On your way down to the comment section, you'll notice that there is a link that'll take you over to Patreon, where you can throw me some money that way. Feel please feel free to do that. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. Working on that whole thing with it going over to Rumble, if you do the Rumble thing. So far, I'm just relying on it to instantly transfer over. Still working out what I'm going to do with locals. I'm kind of up in the air on that still. Because I don't do the live streaming thing, and local seems to be a little more geared towards that and saving it afterwards. I'm not sure. Who knows? I'm rambling. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Peace, love, take care.